transparency, opacity, alpha channel. You have probably heard of them. If you haven't, I'll explain it to you in a minute. Today, we're only talking about them in the computer graphics use. Those who know what are those terms, they know that there is limitation. The object can be with 0% transparency to 100% transparency. But what if we go out of the boundaries? What if we put a negative opacity? To solve this problem, first we need to understand what transparency and opacity are. Transparency is pretty self-explanatory. In scientific words, transparency is a value that represents how much light can pass through the object. It's always present in percentages, from 0% to 100. Opacity on the other side. It's opposite from transparency. Again, it's present in percentages from 0 to 100. Basic explanation is that opacity is how much the object is visible. It is very important to know that the sum of the opacity of an object and its transparency is always 100%. If there will be an object with 60% transparency, you guess the opacity is 40%. Okay, you covered the basics. Second, we need to understand layers. Again, the word is explaining itself. A layer is only one image. Layers are pile of images stacked up together, but the complete picture by looking through the layers is made accordingly by their transparency and colors in each pixel. And third, the key of everything is math. Let's see the mathematical equation. For example, the final value of red in the RGB is equal to 1 minus the opacity of the upper layer divided by 100 times lower layers red plus the opacity of the upper layers times lower layers red. But this is when lower layer is 100% opacity. That's for positive opacity. And here, if we put minus, that's going to turn to a plus. And there is a formula for negative opacity. It's a bit complicated if you don't know math, but you don't need to understand the formula. The final results are very interesting. I worked on this theory to this point. I made a computer software that will calculate for you. The software works with just one pixel at a time, but it's open source and I will upload it to my GitHub. So you can modify it for image calculations and maybe much more. I'm waiting for your responses. You can send me videos on this theory. And now, finally, let's see the software. And here is the software. So, as you can see, the software accepts the upper layers opacity and the color and lower layer. And let me really fast get some values in. So you can see that here, if we put 50% opacity and we put on a positive, well, this is negative opacity, this is positive. There are options like separate and animate. So you can see those options. You can download the software from my GitHub. It's open source, and if we not animate it, the separate function we're gonna turn off and calculate. We're gonna see the formula, and then we're gonna see what values are added in the formula and the result. This is a result from the positive opacity. But if we flip this switch to a negative opacity, we can see that the result is brighter, is lighter, and you can see the values here. In positive opacity 75 and negative opacity 125. There's 25, like plus and minus from 100. It's pretty interesting result. In real life, you can't get this to work because this is plus 150 transparency in this case, and in real life plus 150 transparency doesn't make any sense. Here if we put animate on, and we can put you can see how those combine. Here they combined into negative transparency. You can see it's pretty I don't know, pretty awesome. Separate, if we put animate off, we can separate them, positive and negative. You can see the difference between positive and negative. And this is the C# application, Windows Form. Here on my blog, Nikov-creations .blogspot.com. It's in the description and on the screen. You can see the application that I've done. This is JavaScript application. It's the same. We put the same values, for example, here to show it. 50 on positive is going to be calculated as 75, and if we put negative, 125. Go check that out. No download, no nothing. Check out some colors if you want. It's not made for hex colors, but if you want, you can just open, I don't know, you can, maybe I will put this widget in GitHub so you can modify it if you want for hex values, hex colors, and this is for RGB. You can do it in for hue, saturation and brightness too if you want. And as always, thanks for watching.